Today, we shall not be denied the opportunity to explore another 3 captivating topics in the realm of space exploration. To begin, we shall examine the latest in the series of Falcon 9 rocket launches that have come to dominate the launch statistics. Subsequently, we shall discuss the Prometheus engine tests, a European prototype that could potentially pave the way for launch vehicles' reusability in Europe. Lastly, we shall take a look at the globular cluster NGC 2210, as captured by the Hubble telescope. At 5:07 Universal Time on the 7th of December, 9 Merlin rocket engines ignited, illuminating SLC-40 in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and propelling the Falcon 9 launch vehicle into the sky. The payload for the Starlink 6-33 mission comprised 23 second-generation mini Starlink communication satellites, which will be transferred from an initial orbit of 290 kilometers to a final operational orbit of 550 kilometers via their own argon ion propulsion. This launch was noteworthy in terms of statistics, as it marked SpaceX's 90th orbital launch of this year. On the 8th of December, the company increased the sum by the Starlink 7-8 mission, launched from California, bringing the total number of orbital launches for the year to 91. Let us put these figures into bigger picture. For instance, China launched 57 rockets in 2023. When we sum up the launches of China, Russia, India, Europe, Japan, and North and South Korea this year, the total reaches 91. Thus, all of these nations have launched the same number of orbital rockets as SpaceX in 2023. The American company can boast not only a high launch rate, but also remarkable reliability. Falcon 9 launch vehicles have flown 280 times, of which they have only failed once. The last incident occurred in September 2016. Since then, Falcons have achieved an unbroken streak of 260 successful orbital missions. This time, the Falcon 9 first stage was used for the 9th time, and the landing site was once again an autonomous drone ship. The boat named Just Read the Instructions was located approximately 630 kilometers from the launch site. For SpaceX, it was the 252nd successful landing overall and 177th consecutive success. This is a Prometheus rocket engine running on liquid oxygen and liquid methane. This technology should enable European aerospace industry to make their launch vehicles reusable. This prototype is not intended for practical deployment on orbital rockets, but rather to test the operation of various systems, from which particular technologies can be developed. On October 20th, the engine was tested at Vernon Test Center, France. With a thrust of approximately 100 tons, it was affixed to an early iteration of the Themis development vehicle. Its development is being conducted simultaneously with the Prometheus engine. A Themis outfitted with a Prometheus engine is expected to make 100-meter flights, akin to what SpaceX achieved years ago with Grasshopper. These tests are to be conducted at Kiruna Station in Sweden. This test also falls under the Themis development program. The Themis leg deployment was tested at Vernon Test Center. During the flight tests, these composite legs are to be 4 on the vehicle. Behold the star-strewn globular cluster NGC 2210 located in the Large Magellanic Cloud, some 157,000 light-years from Earth. Globular clusters are highly stable, densely packed aggregations of thousands to millions of stars, and due to their stability, they can endure for extended periods of time, making them ideal for the study of ancient stars. In 2017, astronomers conducted a study of several globular clusters in the Large Magellanic Cloud, discovering that NGC 2210 was likely 11.6 billion years old. Moreover, the other globular clusters examined in the same research were even more ancient, with 4 of them estimated to be over 13 billion years old. This implies that the oldest globular clusters in the Large Magellanic Cloud formed simultaneously with the oldest clusters in the Milky Way, despite the 2 galaxies having formed independently of one another. This cluster not only presents an intriguing research topic, but also boasts a visually attractive concentration of stars. From the perspective of a hypothetical inhabitant of a planet orbiting one of the stars at the core of the globular cluster, the night sky would appear vastly dissimilar to what we are accustomed to seeing on Earth. The sky would be overfilled with stars, as this environment is thousands of times more densely populated than our own. Finally, a brief update regarding the Hubble telescope. At the end of November, its scientific operations were suspended due to a malfunction of one of the 3 gyroscopes. On December 8th, the legendary Space Observatory should be restored to its scientific operations. Thank you for your attention to today's episode of Spaceflight News. We are delighted in your interest in space news, and to ensure you do not miss future episodes, kindly consider subscribing to our channel. Additionally, you can find other interesting news on our profile on social network X, formerly known as Twitter. The link can be found in the video description.